Okay, organics. This is Double R, and today we're going to cover. Oh, I did a cute picture. No, today we're going to cover comics versus cartoons slash movies. Now, let me start off by saying why I'm covering this. A lot of little kids are going to be chilling at home, summer break and all, and they're going to watch some shows like Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very weird for me to say Nickelodeon's. Where April O'Neil happens to have some DNA mixed from the Krangs to become a Jean Grey-like entity, and about the age of the Turtles. Yeah, Casey Jones is about the age of the Turtles too, so they get out of creepy territory real fast with that one. And it's Donnie who has the fixation on April. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, for those who remember the first Ninja Turtles movie, people remember that Raph blushed when April acknowledged that he's the one that saved her in the movie. And of course, Don and Mike are having a little bit of fun at his expense until a side came close to where a guy's wang would be, and then they kind of shut up. Then again, I would too. Someone throws a side with that accuracy near my nuts. I'm done talking shit about him. You just you made your point, all three of them, and you nearly hit me. You win. But this is just the difference between comics and cartoon. From the movie and the cartoon. Okay. Now this is also to take effect of the 80s cartoons, where they were fourth wall breaking, more of a playful, bash 'em, smash 'em, have fun kind of cartoon. And there's so many different interpretations of Turtles that it would just be draining to push on, and I won't be able to get to the rest of the points I'm trying to make here. So with just these three things, the 80s cartoons, the older movie of the Ninja Turtles, to the Nickelodeon version of the Turtles. I deal with the Michael Bay thing, but why? It's a good movie, Double R. I'm making a point here. The fact is, all these are different from the initial comic. And it's going to be a shock for especially young kids who go, oh, I want to find out where the story actually goes or where it comes from. And they go get the comics and they're like, ooh, wow, oh wow, oh wow. And it hits them like a ton of bricks. Same thing with The Mask. Everyone knows the Jim Carrey version of The Mask. And heaven forbid if you know the Jamie Kennedy version of The Mask. I'll pray for your soul. But the point stands that the comics were not that happy. They weren't that happy. They weren't. They were just evil. Dude was killing people left and right and center and backwards and forwards, and because why the fuck not? I can put a tailpipe up your tailpipe and have a fun time, and it's not going to be a cartoonish reaction. It's going to be coming out your mouth. Yeah, it's a good time for all. And some kids be like, oh, I want to get the comics, and then they go find out, and again, I went from jumping Flash to fucking Doom in 2.6 seconds. Holy, ooh. And I keep bringing stuff like this up is because parents need to engage on their kids about television shows and movies. And you need to remind your kids that the comics are not that way. A good chunk of the time, they are not that way. A good current example would be Teen Titans Go. Yeah, Teen Titans Go. That's a thing, folks. Teen Titans Go is a reboot from Teen Titans, which was the animated version, I believe, on Nickelodeon, or is it Cartoon Network? I knew it was one of those channels that had it. Either way, Teen Titans, the original animated series, was a little bit more serious. Then they came out with Teen Titans Go, which was a little bit more comedic. It was more of a slice of life thing. Okay. But even from the serious perspective, the comics hit harder. And this is the major problem that a lot of people have is the parents don't tell the kids, hey, keep in mind the comics are darker. Most of the time, the comics are a little bit more adult themed. They just go out there and let the kids grab the comics. Oh, look, it's just a happy little fun time. Oh, look, humans are filled with strawberry jam. Oh, that's supposed to be blood. Oh, that's a lot of it. Oh, my lord. Oh, wow. And I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm a parent. I pay attention to things like this and I discuss with my kids over certain shows. A lot of shows. A lot of stuff on YouTube. A whole hell of a lot of stuff on YouTube. Even with me censoring things, there's a whole lot of stuff on YouTube that I have to explain. Nevertheless, Daddy, why do you always sound mad? Because people are stupid and it pisses me off. Anyway, that's the thing I find myself saying a lot. But the point stands that a lot of times comics are not as happy-go-lucky as the cartoons that come out based on them. In fact, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes people get into the comics because of the show, thinking, oh, the show is pretty caught up. If you haven't learned anything from Dragon Ball Z, it is this. This is the one thing you will learn. The original run of Dragon Ball Z was so far ahead of the original source material that all these filler episodes that came out is because they beat the source material to the punch. They literally had to stop and go, ooh, shit. We went too fast. We went too fast. We pulled a Sonic too fast. So we gotta slow down. We gotta stall. Because this is supposed to be a weekly installment, we gotta stall. We gotta kind of hold it up. Which is why Namek, for 5 minutes, for their 5 minutes, it turned out to be how long again? Quite a few episodes for 5 freaking minutes. But then again, you can go right back around and go, hey, yeah, training gets done in the hyperbolic time chamber. Hyperchronic time chamber? No! Hyperbolic time chamber. And you can go in there for a day and be done in 24 hours, and you'll be a full year of training worth. And people are like, how am I standing on this thing for 20 hours? What? Even Team 4-Star made fun of that. They even pointed that out. I was like, we've been here for what? 20 hours? How? What? When? What? That kind of thing, where you realize, holy crap, with how fast these people are training and they're suddenly coming out, how have we been here that entire time? That's like Cell just standing up there in the air, or hovering in the air going, I'm going to find 18, and I'm going to wait about 20 hours before I start blasting shit. But the reason why this happened is because, again, they were waiting for the source material to catch up. And when sometimes the source material would pass the point of not only catching up, but going a bit ahead, so they can make an episode, they went, get that in there quickly, so we can stall some more. But if you haven't learned anything from Dragon Ball Z, that is it. That when you're actively trying to make a television series based off of a source material, you're going to outrun it. And you have to be careful when you do. And this is what people are trying to presume happens to all shows. Oh, I can get right into Teen Titans from the Raven arc, when Deathstroke pretty much said he had a present from her dad. I can get right into that. I'll only be a couple issues behind. No, you're not going to be a couple issues behind. You're going to be volumes behind. You're going to be back so far that it's not even funny. And that is kind of what I want to get across in this video. Just because you see a show and there's a comic for it, don't assume that picking up the current comic, you're going to be right in the nice spot in the show where you see the future. You're going to see far into the freaking future. You're going to be like Future Trunks future, okay? You're going to be so far ahead, that's ridiculous. You see 3 years into the future of these people. It's that kind of thing. So, parents, talk to your kids about these shows, okay? Make sure that if they try to go out and get the source material, that you engage with them about it and let them know. Keep them informed. Consider this a PSA, if you will. Imagine, if you will, Double R committing a nice service to help parents and kids get together over something such as comics, where Double R warns you that comics could be evil because of the themes that get pressed on within it. But a responsible parent will be able to explain what is going on and help their child understand and even, at best, introduce their child to new characters that have not been brought up upon the big screen or the little screen at home. To bring up characters that they might not have run across on the internet. Double R commits these services because he's that much of a nice guy, and because he feels you organics do deserve a reprieve from his ranting every so often. Thank you, have yourself a good day, and remember parents, talk to your kids about comics, and kids, if you go after the source material, be advised, not all source material will be as happy-go-lucky as your television shows, and if you think your shows are just a little dark, the comics will prove to be far darker most of the time. I'm Double R, and I'm out.